Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of Chemically Bonded. I am just excited to get into things. Last time, left you on a cliffhanger like the little cock tease cuck boy that I am. Or I'm more of a dom. You're the cuck boys, I'm the dominatrix. Excuse me, I lost my voice there. Anyway, Naomi is waiting for Kyoko and I to return in the club room, so there's some drama about to go down, boys. Let's just get into it. Let's do this. Gosh darn. I'm very excited about this. Squeezing her way past me, the warmth of her body contrasts against the chill flowing down my spine as Naomi turns her head to face us, a melancholic look shifting into one of shock. I'm sweating, but it's not because of the story. It's really hot here in Montana. But anyway, I suffice. I digress. I said that twice. What the fuck? I don't know why I say suffice instead of digress. Maybe I'm just retarded. Anyway, enough rants. Here's the story. Let's do this. No interruptions. Despite having grown close to Naomi, I didn't expect to bear witness to her redemption in person. I didn't expect her to want me to see this. As silence spans the room, the two girls continue gazing inquisitively towards the other. I said I wouldn't interrupt, but dude, Naomi's milkers are just fucking gigantic. Oh my gosh. Both of their faces progressing slowly and slowly towards woe as the other's presence begins setting in. With Naomi's expression stuck in a mix of sad and embarrassed, Kyoko's own begins to turn into one of sullen resentment as she steps forward, uncharacteristically taking the first steps to speak up.
What are you doing here?
I just wanted to say something.
My own emotions riled, nervousness filling my heart as the situation begins to unfold. Naomi's own voice remains composed as Kyoko glares towards her, almost in anger. The chains of her past breaking as the pain inside her sets free. A girl usually cheerful, energetic, and happy, now resenting the person standing before her. The source of her suffering.
What is there to say?
Anger seeping from her voice, Kyoko remains frozen as Naomi fidgets timidly with her hair, her eyes locked to the floor. Never would I have imaged... That's supposed to be imagined, taken away from the moment. Never would I have imagined such a complete personality swap.
I wanted to talk to you.
Catching a glimpse of Kyoko's pain as she briefly tunes to me, my own interpretation of the situation, she continues forward as the emotions inside her spiral out of control.
Really? You want to talk? After what you did, you want to talk?
I want to do something about this. I want them both to be happy. But as much as I've been there for them, this is something they should decide on their own. Knowing I'm involved would shatter Kyoko's heart, yet bringing them this moment was a risk I had to take. The passion in Naomi's heart convincing me that she's not a bad person. Regardless of the past, I want them to have a future together. Kyoko's own emotions sink faster into dejection as tears well beneath her hazel eyes, a feeling reflected in Naomi's own. Looking towards her, she opens her mouth slowly before beginning to unleash the feelings locked at the depths of her heart.
Please. Is that too much to ask? It's not what you think. Really.
Tears streaming down her reddened cheeks, the light catches them like diamonds as Naomi wipes away the shiny allure. Her skin glossed with a mix of sweat and teardrops, nervousness and sadness pushed into one. As their sentiment tugs on my heartstrings, the scene continues to unfold before my eyes. All I can do is watch the pained history between two old friends unravel through teardrops and resentment.
You came here to destroy our friendship, didn't you? Just like you did ours.
didn't I?
Can't you just leave me alone?
That's not... I can't.
A flood of tears seep from their faces, their inner feelings unleashed through strained words and sniffles, stray breaths, tight grips, shaking bodies. The embodiment of sadness itself as Naomi's nails dig into her skin and Kyoko clenches her wrist.
You don't understand!
Set in a flurry of tears, the image of Naomi's sullen face flashes past me as her presence disappears, nothing but the feeling of her hair brushing beside me left against my arm. As her cries begin to dim, the sound of her footsteps as she runs further into the distance. The pain inside my heart continues to grow as the thumping gets harder and harder to bear. I didn't want this to happen. Oh my gosh. Oh no. You know, I was reading this, I had a thought to myself, and the great commentator I am, I'm like, oh, that'd be really shitty if they made us choose like to go after Naomi. And look at this, look at where we are. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take a drink, collect my thoughts. Man, this is basically, if we go after Naomi, it's like a declaration of war. We're just kind of, we're putting the flag in the ground. This is our banner. We are Naomi, Naomi-ites, Naomi sympathizers, not sympathizers, but sympathizers, not SIMP. Well, shoot, man. I don't know. Because, like, if we stay with Kyoko, like, that's probably the right thing to do, right? Because, I mean, if we go with Naomi, it's like saying, hey, like, fuck you, Kyoko. Man. Oh, my gosh. This, I don't know. I really don't know. Fuck. We like Naomi more. We as a collective. Every Markap Sue agrees with my opinion. Oh, man. I did it. I can't let her be alone. Not after all we've been through. I'll be back in a minute. Ooh. We could have just said, like, we had to pee or something at that inopportune time. My heart pounding in my chest. The difficulty of the choice evident, though, I leave Kyoko behind. The last image of her tear-soaked face sticking shortly in my mind as I chase after Naomi's pained cries. Man, did we make the right decision? I guess we'll see. After all I've gone through with Naomi, the feeling deep inside is enough to tell me what to do, to know I don't want to see her upset. Snippets of classroom doors and windows fly through my vision as I sprint down the corridor, my breathing increasingly strained as I reach the staircase, her wails barely getting any louder. No wonder she's on the track team. Dude, my voice acting is so good. Trotting down the stairwell, all I can do is hope I don't lose her. I have to push on. By the way, it's probably not the best idea, while we're respirating really heavily to talk, like we're the protagonist of a game, that just doesn't seem like the best idea. What do I know? The cool air meeting my now flustered face, the sight of Naomi running in the distance meets my eyes. Her auburn hair flowing as she sprints onwards towards the gym, cries now subtle against the orchestra of nature with a splash of the urban cacophony. What is that word? No way he knows that word, whoever wrote this. Naomi, wait! My calls unheeded, all I do is chase after her once more as the doors to the gym slam shut. Either nobody's in there, or she's brazen enough to run into a hall crying. The beating of my heart tells me what I must do. Bursting into the gym, the space around us echoes back the sound of the doors slamming open and the sound of Naomi's cries. We're the only ones here. Slowing to a stop, Naomi bows slightly to catch her breath, one which remains ragged and strained. Naomi.
What do you want?
Sadness seeping through her voice, Naomi turns towards me, cheeks soaked with teardrops as they continue to fall from her ocean eyes. I don't want to see you like this.
It's not like I can help it. It's over. All of it. All I wanted was to get her back. My friend. And now I've made it worse. All I'll ever be. Just the popular girl. The track star. Do you think I want that? All I want is the past. But there's no point anymore.
I don't see you like that.
But there's no point.
Fuck. I'm all twitchy. Scroll wheel. Apologize. Sniffling once more, Naomi raises her hand to meet my own, a look of woe plastered on her face as her eyes point towards me sharply.
What do you see me as?
Epic. I see you as a friend. Honestly, how could you not think that? You can't just give up. Not after all we've been through. All you've been through. I'll talk to Kyoko. I'm sure we can convince her. You're my friend, whether you like it or not.
Really? You see me like that?
Of course. Oh. Nice. That's pretty epic. That's very epic, actually. Stepping forward swiftly, the last glimpse of Naomi's face flashes in my mind as I find myself locked between her arms. The warmth of her body, nice, now seeping through to my own as she presses herself against me. Dude, I'm trying to think of the last time a girl gave me a hug. Yeah, it's not coming to me. A hug. Your chest.
You think I didn't know that?
Teardrops falling against my shoulders, Naomi's voice crosses the thin gap between her lips and my ears as her hair brushes past my cheeks. Yeah, I don't regret choosing to go after Naomi now, just making that clear. If there was any doubt. Her own still moist as she rests against my neck, the two of us now closer than ever before.
I see you as a friend too. It's been hard for me to say that. But it's true. No jokes this time.
Holding me tightly, her body shakes slightly with every word, each trace of nervousness evident as she continues to press against me. The pains of loneliness let out with each and every agonizing breath, her warmth caressing my skin as she catches herself in a moment's rest. A gentle heart, yet heavy heartbeats.
Most people, they just want me for my looks, my talent, my anything. Nobody wants me for me.
I've been saying this from the beginning, like, we love her personality because she tells us, like, hey, like, baka, and we like that. We like to be dominated, so this is very realistic. But isn't that you? You are talented. You are attractive. The fact isn't hard to say, but I guess having her pushing her weight against me, our bodies locked in embrace, I can't help but hold my tongue.
That's not who I am. You know that. All I've done is been selfish. Insult you, be mean, but that's not me. That's not what I meant.
I like when she's mean.
That's not who I am. But you still stayed by me.
That's pretty epic. Breaking the clasp of her arms, breaking our embrace, Naomi takes a step backwards, wiping away her tears as her cheeks glisten in the ambient light. A small smile visible through the blinding light, her cheeks peachy against a spring breeze passing through the open doors.
That's why. I'm glad to have you as a friend.
Well, I just thought of something. What if they made it like a time decision, so I only had like 3 seconds to decide between the two of them? That'd be pretty epic. Just a random autistic thought there. Perking her head upwards, the woe-ridden face I'd first seen standing before me is nowhere to be found. Instead, contentful azure eyes peer back towards my own, my face barely visible as the reflection of her world glistens within them. I'm glad to have you as a friend too. That's why I stayed, I guess. It wasn't just Kyoko. It wasn't just solving their problems. Despite that challenge still before us, the reason I stayed was much simpler.
You know, I don't hate you.
I'm pretty sure after that outburst it was kind of apparent.
Well, it's true. I told you, didn't I?
I guess, but if you were to list all of my flaws, you'd have a field day.
Of course. I'm on the field enough as it is. We don't just use the gym, you know? But I don't hate you. Friendship isn't without flaws, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. I've learned that by now. I'd lost sight of who I was by focusing on my own.
But some might see your flawed side as attractive. It's not just about who you see yourself as, you know?
You're right. Anyway, I should probably head home. I need time to think. I'll see you tomorrow.
Nice. Turning off towards the door, part of me feels I should have said something. But as I watch her copper hair swaying gently in the wind as she steps outside, a subtle skip in her step, I can't really see her being that phased. Her hair went from auburn to copper. Interesting. Hope you're keeping up. The thought of her smile still fresh on my mind, her warmth against my body. I can't help but savor the moment as she disappears further into the fading sunlight. A captivating girl, flaunting her beauty as if it were nothing. The reality of her actions looming over her, a thorn in her everyday life. She can't change her past. Yet, with a heart like hers, she can certainly strive to make up for her mistakes. In doing so, she can move forwards towards a brighter future, one with Kyoko, one with me, together. Transition time? Oh, you know it. This might be end of Act 2 time. Oh man, oh that got me. It was like fading. It was like fading to a transition, and it just like popped up. Oh shit, Kyoko. Now it's a transition. Oh, that's funny. This game's pretty epic. I ain't gonna lie. Why would I lie? That's not epic. Dang, we just had like a really happy moment, and then it's like, oh shit, cue the sad music back to Kyoko. Man. All right. Bursting through the doors of the lab, the sight of Kyoko is the first thing to meet my eyes, her face still sullen as she sits atop a desk, eyes pointed towards the floor. A look of thought, yet similarly one of sadness, her silky brown hair now flowing down her shoulders, having swapped from her typical sporty look. Seeing her bask in the setting sun, it's hard to muster up any words of consolidation. Kyoko, is it all right for me to come in?
You're a member, after all.
Stepping forward, her crystalled eyes meet my own as I peer towards a sea of chocolate. Sweet, yet somehow still so soured.
You want to know, right? You want to know everything.
That's only if you want to.
I used to be on the athletics team. I was good too, but
I've heard.
She told you?
Most of it.
I figured. But can't you see why I can't forgive her? Bragging to my friend about how she got me kicked from the team. Do you see how nice that is?
She wasn't bragging.
What was she doing?
She was crying. Taking a step back, Kyoko stares towards me in confusion, taking another breath before I can give her an opportunity to speak. Why would she come back for you? Why would she stand before you if she didn't miss you? I don't know what went on in your lives, how close you two really were, but I sure as hell know that Naomi still wants you in hers. How painful it is for her, for you. This entire evening, evident enough of the power that heart has in ambition. My own ambitions having been skewed, all I want in this moment is to achieve the dream Naomi couldn't grasp on her own. I want her to be happy again. She just wanted you to win because you were her friend.
You really think so?
Her voice strained, Kyoko looks back towards me, eyes sharp, a complete contrast to her usual cute and upbeat allure. Of course I do. Naomi is hurt too. I don't think she can forgive herself either. You were best friends after all. Finishing her brief pause, she aims her eyes towards me once again, glossed with a hint of teardrops as she slowly parts her quivering, flushed lips.
It might take some time, but I'll try it. I'll try to accept her.
Well, damn. I think we made the best decision. Like, this couldn't have gone any better. Like, really. Like, this... But this is Act 2, right? Like, so I feel like, shouldn't there be a plot twist or something coming? Because I feel like there's more content. We haven't even met all the characters, which is crazy to say on episode 15. But, I don't know, I'm hesitant to accept that things are going as well as they are. With a sigh of relief, I look back towards Kyoko with a smile. The troubles of the past settled, the lives of these girls now given a slither of opportunity to be set back on path. A path together, forward to the future. Maybe I just want to see Naomi more often too. No trick transition this time. Epic. That's gotta be the start of Act 3, right? No? Yeah, there it is. There you go. Act 3. 3 freeze. Running together. Epic. Oh, we're still going with this episode, boy. You already know. You already know, man. But this is the last act. And if my math is correct, if this is... It took us 14 episodes... kinda, to get through 2 acts. So that means there should be probably like between the range of 5 to 7 more episodes. So, wow. This is gonna be a long series, man. But I fucking love it. I love this series. I love this game. I love my subscribers too. I just wanna give you a little smooch. The school gates, a barrier to the newfound world I've grown to know, skims through my vision as I pass by. Students filling the space around me, spanning far and wide as a nonchalant melody of nature and chatter greets my ears. Wiping sleep from my tear ducts, the thoughts of yesterday cross my mind once again as I keep my eyes pierced on the doors before me. The entrance to what'll hopefully turn out to be a path to rekindling the broken bonds between 2 different yet similar girls. 2 oxymoronic hearts given a new chance to be together again.
I see you as a friend too. It's been hard for me to say that. But it's true. No jokes this time. Most people, they just want me for my looks, my talents, my anything. Nobody wants me. For me.
That was an epic flashback. The tightness of Naomi's embrace lingers on my mind. Her tears, her breathing, her smile. The moment of happiness bursting from the depths of her heart. An unforgettable moment in the story of our friendship. The story of a girl torn out of her friendship and thrust into a new, unforgiving life, only to find her path back to where she can finally be herself again. A path I want to join her on. Skirting my way through the corridor, the usual morning crowds obstacle on the road. Morning crowds. Wait, this is a weird sentence. Skirting my way through the corridor, the usual morning crowds obstacles on the road towards class. I don't know how you could make that make sense, but it doesn't. The warmth of the sunlight piercing through the panes of glass along the halls hit my cheeks in a familiar rhythmic fashion. My day-to-day life, however changing, but still keeping the basic fundamentals I'd honestly miss.
Oi! You cheeky git!
What? Standing beside the door to class, a small girl leans against the wall with a fierce expression. Her eyes pointed towards me like daggers as she continuously maintains a cute yet threatening pout. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I just felt like saying that.
Closing the gap between us, Kyoko stands with a now happy expression as she raises her hands triumphantly, almost as if she's proud of her antics. Yet despite it being now commonplace, the same heartfelt smile finds its way onto my face as my cheeks raise diligently in response. You've been waiting for me?
No. Well, not long anyway. I wanted to tell you something.
The emotions of yesterday still hovering above us, the expression on her face is distinctly hard to read. Her cheeks flustered, eyes shied away. It's almost as if she's embarrassed. Saving my own breath, Kyoko's own sounds out before me, pumping the valves of my heart as timidity flows between us.
Thank you.
For what? Almost annoyed, Kyoko maintains her rosy cheeks as she pouts towards me once again, this time shorter than the last.
For what you have done with Naomi. It's not like I didn't think about forgiving her.
At the end of the day, the importance of their relationship was evident from the start. Kyoko too held the same feelings Naomi wanted to protect. A set of feelings they both wanted to feel once again. Well, it's okay, really. Ruffling her skirt as she adjusts her stance, Kyoko continues peering in my direction. A look of content remains glazed across her face as she sniffles slightly. The long periods of woe now open to a brighter future.
It's not just okay. It's great. I want to make it back to you. I'll buy you a juice at lunch. That's nothing in comparison, but it's a start.
Smiling diligently before me, the feelings in my own heart well up at the sight of her happiness, a cute smile beaming in the morning sunlight as the first bell rings for class. It's itself a treasure at the end of our long journey, and the beginning of another together. With a flustered heartbeat, a smile of my own makes its way back to her as I return her warmth. Their problems seemingly behind them, seeing her like this is enough to make my heart skip a beat. The time we've spent together, fixing their problems, now deeply rooted and sprouting to a world filled with new possibilities. I want to enjoy it. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's the very start of Act 3, and they're like, okay, like, everything's epic now. There's gonna be no problems. But I feel like there has to be more problems, right? Like, I'm not crazy. A little retarded, but I'm not crazy. The bell chiming from above, the time to start class as diligently arrived. That doesn't make sense. What? Maybe has diligently arrived? Still, fuck. The brief separation of friends, with Kyoko in the front and me only slightly behind. Sitting as we idly wait for our duties to be over to speak freely once again. Morning sunlight striking us, a mutual pair of smiles is all we need to mark our brief farewell as we head into class side by side. A once boring life now filled with an eccentric type of joy, and a once woeful life now being rebuilt as she climbs up the path to happiness. 2 students of class 3-1, passers-by to anyone else, yet still 2 friends. 2 brothers even.
So class, I'm expecting full attendance next week. Can't have young minds slacking off in this day and age.
I'm changing him to voice number 2 again. Gotta have it. We need our Mr. Kabir voice number 2. It's the only way to do it. Scroll wheel back.
So, class, I'm expecting full attendance next week. We can't have young minds slacking off in this day and age.
There we go. That's what we want.
Make sure to bring your homework in on time, too.
Our now accustomed economics teacher, now gripped by his own lethargy, the class lets out a sigh of relief in response as the lunch break steams ahead. Groups of friends converging together, hustling through the room to get together. Luckily enough, the cute and eccentric bundle of knowledge still remains slumped on her desk as I join the crowd traversing the room. Not transversing. Are you okay?
Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be?
You fell asleep, didn't you?
I'm a diligent student. Why would I do that?
Well, yesterday it take it out. That I'm gonna read this how it's written. Well, yesterday it take it out from all of us. Take that for what you will. I don't know what that means. The event's still fresh in my mind. The pains in the hearts are only just beginning to soothe. Their desire to be together again now sprouted. Do you want to go get some lunch?
I asked you a question. But, sure. I'd like that.
With Naomi? Ooh.
It couldn't hurt. After all, I want to make things right again, too.
Then it's settled. The uneasiness in her voice a given, a heavy heart now thrust to forgive and forget the sorrows staining their past to focus on the happiness they both sought. Her peachy lips trembling slightly as nervousness flows from within her, a girl caught up in the tangibility of her own emotions, touched by each other's desire to rebuild the bonds they once knew. To make an omelet, you've got to break some eggs, even if it's hard for her. She wants to be friends with Naomi again. Call Naomi. They don't give us the option to... That'd be funny if we could. Okay, well, we'll press call. We'll go along. Dialing her number, I stared towards the picture of her oddly cheerful face on the screen before me, a sight of happiness contrasting the tear-soaked face of yesterday. I'd be lying if I didn't say it looked beautiful.
What do you want? Oh, it's just you.
That's certainly a warm hello.
What did you expect?
I can't really say I was expecting anything different. Despite her wanting to change, she's still her usual self.
How was last night?
What do you mean?
The hug, you idiots! Did you like it?
Yes. Yes! It's not that I didn't, but... Those are 2 options. What do you want me to say? And I loved it. Your hair smelled nice. I mean, there's only one right choice here. I loved it. And her hair did smell nice. So I feel like we gotta be honest here, right, fellas? Can I get a heck yeah? Thank you. Yeah, you in the back. I heard you. Yeah. I think that's funny. It was good. Perhaps a more generic response is the best thing to go for in the end.
I'm glad. Do you want to go get some lunch? It's not like I'm doing anything.
I was just about to ask you the same thing. Her nervousness apparent through her sharp breaths and stutters, I can't help but imagine her sheepish expression as she tries her best to maintain her usual brash attitude.
How nice of you!
Is that sarcasm?
Just a little bit. I'll meet you in the cafeteria soon. I just have to finish changing. I beat my personal best, you know.
Sun pics. So she was doing something after all.
Bring Kyoko.
Hanging up abruptly, the line falls silent as the feeling of the cool glass screen against my face becomes more prominent. With a pouty face peering towards me, I guess Kyoko couldn't help overhearing our conversation. You like the Helgia slut? Just as I slide my phone back into its usual place in my pocket, chimes ring out once again as I bring it back to my ear in disdain. Maybe Act 3 will be centered around that, like Kyoko being jealous that Naomi and I'm assuming Naomi and I, like, get together, but, that's just my assumption. Maybe Kyoko and I get farther apart because Naomi and I get closer. Maybe that's, I don't know, that seems like reasonable because there's gotta be some drama in this final act, right? Anyway, I read this already.
I forgot to say, but thank you.
Nice. Once again, leaving me with silence, I stare back at the screen, expecting her to call again any second, Kyoko too joining in as she continues looking on quizzically. She's coming.
That's good to hear.
Analyzing the look plastered upon Kyoko's face, themes of anxiety and nervousness shine out to me as she pouts in disdain once again. Whether she likes being stared at or not, it's clear that the emotions inside her are still fluttering around her heart. We should probably get going. We do want to get the nice food, right? What with the canteen being a first served battleground?
Right.
Trotting to my side, the happiness inside her beams from her smile as her lips glisten under the light. The trembling once bestowed upon them, now calmed as her quivering is inhibited by her own ambition, the desire to make things right again. Nice. Swinging the cafeteria doors open, the smells of freshly cooked food wafts towards us, the sound of bustling students trying to get some ringing out alongside. An abnormally large number of students too, as if the day I had to eat food with the school's most iconic students was the day most people stopped doing packed lunches.
Is she here?
A flustered look now coating her pale face, it's almost as if she didn't expect her to be here at all. Crimson now racing to her cheeks as she blushes meekly under the ceiling-strewn lights, her breath almost unsteady. Did you not expect her to be?
No, I did. But as scientists, you have to expect the unexpected. Anyway, food!
Taking no spare moment to end our conversation normally, Kyoko shies her way over to the queue, an almost complete contrast to her apt desire to be fed. Looking at her from this angle, it's clear to see why she fit the bill as an athlete. That was a good flashback. I'm glad they included that in Act 3, as if I hadn't already seen enough her body as it is.
What are you waiting for? Come on!
All right. I guess now's not the time. Skipping her way further down the line, I trail behind Kyoko as the sounds of weak conversations resonate through the wisp of people behind. An idle way of passing the time as I wait to be served.
Hey, did you hear about the new beef sandwiches they're doing here?
What is the students' fascination with the beef sandwiches? They've mentioned this like 2 or 3 times. This is really weird.
What? That's crazy. Who would think that imported beef would sweep the country just over one school in Tokyo? It's not even Japanese.
We're still anti-Chitose here, just letting you know. The chatter quickly quells out as the line slowly inches forward. Kyoko grabs herself a tray with an assortment of treats and a hot meal, as if she's indulging in this a bit too much.
I'll find us a place to sit, okay?
Sure. It's not often I get the chance to have lunch with a girl as cute as her, and what with Naomi coming along, the chances are surely bound to be reduced. I can almost feel the envious gazes against my back, a sense of dread quickly washing over afterwards.
Hey, will you hurry up? Jeez.
Snatching my own tray with haste, another similar strewn platter of food, I hurry behind Kyoko to join her at one of the few empty tables in the hall.
Do you mind if I sit here too?
Not at all, Naomi. And speaking of, plop in a seat, let's get out of our seats and get moving, because this episode is now over. I know. This seems like a good place to end it, because it's like, hey, we're about to reconnect, and we're going to reconnect in the next episode. So it seems like a good idea, right? All right, go ahead. Do me a few favors, some of them being a little more difficult than others. Recognizably the last one. You'll see. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Here comes the hard one. Help me find a girlfriend, and bye-bye.